Hello, everyone. Welcome tonight to the Round Table. I'm Luke, and this is TJ.
Hello there, everyone. Hope you're all having a good holiday.
And for tonight's edition, we are reviewing From Dusk Till Dawn.
All right. After Richard Gecko gets his brother out of jail, they and the Fuller family, which they take hostage, escape to Mexico. And then wait at a bar to get picked up. And then vampires show up.
All right. So, TJ, what are your thoughts on the movie?
I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed this movie. Do you have history with this movie, or is it just something you've seen?
I saw it a year ago. My parents
Okay.
introduced me to it.
Did you see it in a theater?
No, at home
Okay.
on TV.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What do you like about this movie?
Well, I like the punchy dialogue and the violent scenes.
Hmm.
Like Tarantino was a writer for this movie, and I'm into Tarantino stuff.
Yeah. Did you direct it?
No, it wasn't him actually. It
Oh,
was directed by Robert Rodriguez.
that makes a lot of sense in thinking about that. I mean, props to him. Props to him, Quentin. That is.
Yeah,
Props to him for portraying the worst human being on it to be put to film. That's hyperbole, but not by much.
I know.
But it's yeah. But like personally, the film, what I enjoyed about the film is just the feeling. It has a interesting feeling to this film where it feels like there's multiple films in the in the in the same picture because so I mentioned that there's vampires in this movie, and then basically what's interesting is that they don't show up until halfway through the film, and there is no indication of them beforehand. There is no scene where a vampire bites somebody or anything like that.
They lead
And
up to
those
it.
Yeah, and it's so interesting because like when the brothers are going over the border, and when they go to the bar, it's called the Titty Twister, correct?
Yeah,
When they go to the Titty Twister bar, it feels like a different movie. It feels, for lack of a better term, way more gritty, way more grounded. It's not murk. I mean, there is jokes, there is some absurdity to it, but there really is not. But there really is no But it is, again, grounded. There is no one's nobody has a crotch gun. There's no things are very dry.
yeah,
And when they get to the bar, even before vampires show up, it's so much more. It feels like a different movie. Like the set design is chaotic, is elaborate. The atmosphere is hectic, and it's just way. And the people in it are just so much more cartoonish. It almost feels like. Who directed The Big Lebowski? Who is that?
Coen Brothers.
The former film feels like a Coen Brothers movie, and the latter feels like a very much like a Rodriguez movie.
Okay. I don't know much about Rodriguez, but I'll take your word for it.
Have you seen Spy Kids?
Yeah, is he the director
He
of
did
Spy
that
Kids?
too.
Oh yeah.
It's,
Anyway,
he made.
I thought the movie was very intense and full of punchy dialogue, and it has a pattern of like tense conversations between the characters followed by violence.
Mhm.
I think the scenery of the movie works greatly. The characters are in a hot, secluded town in the middle of a desert, and they have small places to visit, such as diners and motels. Feels like fistfights and shootouts commonly happen in these kind of places in a fictional story. I feel like I'm watching a comic book.
And this is the bar, the before they cross the border.
Bar and motel.
So which one feels like a comic book?
Well, I'm referring to the intro scene and the scene where the family gets kidnapped at the motel, and then
Yeah,
obviously the titty twister bar.
yeah, it feels. Yeah, there really isn't that much. I mean, there is violence near the beginning. There's that first confrontation, and also the one scene I didn't like in this movie. But there really is a. But it is again very drawn back at the beginning. Like there is no real violence, but there's also that feeling that it feels like things are gonna go wrong, like just with the characters, like with the Gecko brothers, and how sporadic they can be, and the family who is stressed out. That combination feels unsteady, and there is just a great idea of tension. And also going back to that first scene, I feel it's a good like microcosm of the film. That much more that much more grounded interactions between the shop owner and the sheriff compared to the building literally exploding.
Mm.
Is a it's a good microcosm for the whole movie. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
I really liked. I really like. I need to look up his name. Jacob Fuller. I feel like I really liked Harvey Keel's performance with him.
Harvey Keitel.
Harvey Keitel. Thank you. He's so tender and so annoyed and just bitter and scared, and it just he is such. I feel like he's such an engaging character, and I really enjoyed his transformation for the movie, where he becomes more confident and more and regains. Does he regain his faith? Let's just say he does. He does regain
Yeah,
his
I would say
faith and
so.
strength back. Yeah.
Yeah, like all he needs is a push from one of the people who was with him on the trip.
Also, seeing old bar get obliterated is a good indication as well. Say a good push, I should say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any performances pop out to you?
Yes, George Clooney's performance as Seth. I like how he is a smart mouthed, easily agitated character, and how he often argues with his brother Richie.
Yeah,
I like how
not,
he just goes into places all confident and smug and beats up anyone who gets in his way.
yeah, he's enjoyable.
Yeah.
He feels very George Clooney esque. That's not a bad thing. That's just sort of an observation. But he does feel, yeah. But he is. But I did enjoy that character. I
Yeah.
did, and I also really enjoyed his like his interactions with Richie, as you said. They both him and Quentin Tarantino give up very much sell that they are brothers, which is saying something because I really don't like the one thing. If I may say, the one scene one aspect I really didn't like about the movie. Do you mind if I talk about the rape scene?
Sure.
Hey, Rich. So yeah, the one thing you probably should know going into this movie. There is this, yeah, there is the aftermath of there is a lot of the idea of rape is brought up a few times.
Yeah.
Richie is a sex offender, like in the movie. We don't see it on screen, although we do. It's hints of an aftermath, which that is again that scene is the one aspect of the movie I really didn't like. Like if I can go into this much more dark subject, not that a film can explore like themes of sexual abuse or yeah, or have a character that is well, again, violent sexually.
Yeah.
But in this film it just feels unnecessary. They're really, I mean, I guess there kind of is the theme of like of there is kind of a theme of sexual power and how, and I say theme. It's not really a theme. It's more of a motif, but that doesn't really play into it, and it also just felt extreme for the sake of being extreme, and really I feel like they don't really explore the subject matter, and I just feel like it is just they don't really explore the subject matter. The scene could be cut, and honestly, I feel it just detracts from the enjoyment of the whole experience.
Yeah, well, it doesn't really bother me, but I can see how it would bother other people. Like it's taking on the intensity to an unnecessary degree.
Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah, it's not that it's just intense. It's just an odd detail that the movie's already intense, but it's just such an unnecessary detail. Just it could just have easily said that Richard killed the woman for some stupid reason. It would change nothing.
Like there are many different ways to write an evil character, and Richie is just an insanely evil character.
Which is fine. Just get rid of that aspect. You want to talk about the vampires?
Yeah, sure.
How'd you
So
find the vampires in this movie?
I like the design of the vampires. Really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think they went all in on the visual effects, and I like how they incorporate the rule of vampires not being allowed to be near crosses, and we see the main characters try their best to to beat the vampires in combat, and try to evade them with makeshift crosses. Like it was a well constructed fight in my opinion.
I enjoyed. Yeah, the vampire. Yeah, I really enjoyed the vampires. Vampires too. I love. I like the. I liked how they used a lot of the lore, the pop culture lore of vampires, and how everyone that the main characters knew what vampires did, so they didn't have to just explain it. So they didn't explain it all over again, and yeah, just how the amount of work into it. They could have just easily give a bunch of people fake fangs, but I enjoy like how reptilian and bizarre the vampires look, and how yeah, and how some aspects feel loose but in a good way. Loose but in a good way.
Oh yeah,
And
and let's not forget the band playing in the background.
yes.
I found them to be
Yeah.
funny and scary at the same time.
Yeah. Mostly I found them funny though.
Yeah.
It's just the head guitar. Again, it's just such a different movie. Also, yeah. I also just
Like, damn, so intense.
Yeah, you mean like their decor, their music?
The music and the head guitar.
Yeah,
like, geez.
Such a strange. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, would you recommend this movie, Luca?
Yes, I would recommend it.
Yeah.
If you're into like violent, gory films, try giving this film a watch.
Yeah.
And I'd probably rate the film a 9.5 out of 10.
Yeah. As mentioned before, the concept of rape is brought up. So if that bothers you, which is perfectly legit, you might want to skip this movie. Although if I may again reiterate, it's not too prevalent throughout the film. A lot of that is near the beginning, and there is no real there's no real on-screen violence in that realm. But that said, the movie itself is a lot of fun. It's very captivating from start to finish. There's a lot of fun action and effects, and it's just a good ride from start to finish. Again, minus the previously mentioned aspects. I'd probably give it between a 7 and an 8. Probably leaning on a 7.
Okay.
And I'd recommend this movie.
All right. Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right. So TJ, it's your turn to pick the next movie. What do you want to review next?
Klaus on Netflix. Klaus.
Klaus?
Yes. Or Klaus.
Klaus.
Yeah, it's said.
Okay.
It's on Netflix. You'll find it no problem.
Never heard of it, but I'll look into it later.
That's very good. Thank you for your time, Luca, and I wish you all the best.
You too. Thank you for joining me.